Hi, you're watching a tutorial on how to use this row column scanning board. My name is Evan Nestico, and this is a board that would be used for spelling messages into the message display here on the left. This tutorial is about 10 minutes in length. By the time it's done, you'll be able to use all of the buttons and functions on this board. At least you'll begin to know how to use them. Okay, so let's start by orienting ourselves to the board. Here on the left we have a message display window, and this is where the text will be inserted for creating messages. Here on the right, in between the message display and the letters, we have, going down, a number of functions, which I will explain in a moment. And then here we have all the letters of the alphabet arranged by the frequency with which they appear in the English language. So E is the most used letter when you're spelling. So that's up here in the upper left-hand corner. And then down here is Z, which is used the least. And then it goes down all the way in between. So this will scan by row, and then it goes along the row as a column. So I'll go ahead and click the mouse so you can see what that scan looks like. Now usually you would hear a clicking noise, but I've disabled the sound just so that you can sort of see and also hear my voice at the same time. So this will scan and continue to scan until you hit the mouse again. You start the scan with a mouse click, you stop the scan with a mouse click, and then you can start it again in a different way. So here, let's stop it there. And then to get it started again, let's say I want to click the letter M. I'll go ahead, click M. So when I get to M, I'm clicking it, and then that inserts it into the message display up here. So let's say I want to say the message me. Okay, now I'm going to click to start the scan, and then click to select the first row. Click, oh, and I missed it, but that's okay. If you miss it, you just start the scan on a different row, and when it gets to the end of the row, it'll begin to scan again. Okay, click again to get started, insert the E. Okay, so let's say I wanted to go back and get rid of this message. I'm going to show you how to use the clear message function. You start the scan with a click, stop it here on this row. The first thing that will be highlighted in every row is the function. So then what you'll do is essentially double click. You have to click once to get the scan going. And then you have to click again real fast. I just clicked once there, so that's why it went back through the scan. But to get these functions, you have to double click. So, there. I double click to clear the message. I'm going to insert just another message, just a nonsense message just for the sake of time. Well, I'm going to do T. Okay. Now let's say you want to insert a space after T. What you would do is you click to start the scan, and then click again to select the first row. So it's basically a double click, and then another double click. So you need 2 double clicks to hit space. If you miss it, you just wait for it to go through this column scan and then down the rows again, so it comes back up to the top. At the end of this tutorial, if we have time, I will show you how to take it so that the mouse clicks only terminate the scan, but the scan self-starts. Okay, so that's how you use space. Now I'll show you the clear letter function. Let's say I insert a letter that I don't want here, say it's an A. I'm going to go down here to the third row, I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to double click clear letter, and there it's gone. Okay, now let's say I want to get rid of clear word. First one I'm going to need to do is clear that space there. And now what I'm going to do is go down to fourth row, click, double click, clears the word. Okay. Next I'll show you the shift function. Now the very first letter is always going to be capitalized, but this next letter, as you'll see, will not be capitalized. Okay. Let's say I wanted to capitalize a word. I'm going to insert a space just for the sake of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the shift function. So here you would start the scan with a click, click this row, double click, and the next letter that you insert capitalized. Very last thing I want to show you is the number pad down here. Oh, I missed it, but we'll go back. There. You click there on the number when the row column scanning gets to the number pad. You'll click to start the scan in the column. With number 4, there, clicked it. All set. Let's see how much more time we have. Okay, got a few more minutes. So let me just real quick show you what you can do here. One of the other functions, let's say you don't want so much clicking. If you're someone who has difficulty with fine motor coordination and don't want to click as much, you can go into this board in BoardMaker, and I'm using BoardMaker 6 here. You go to Access Method, Scanning Options. And what you would do is unclick this button here, or uncheck it, I should say. And that takes off the function of requiring the click to start the scan. We'll go back to our board, and as you see here, I haven't clicked anything yet, and the scan is starting. So really, your mouse click terminates rather than starts scans. So here, I will click once, and then this row begins scanning. Click again when it lands on what I want. Again, terminate the scan there. Put in the letter that I want. We'll do a function, clear message. Click again, it's gone. In some ways, this is easier to handle if you are someone who doesn't want to do a lot of motor movements. It's a little less directed, though, so you don't have as much control over the scan. It just depends on what your preference is, and also what your possible impairments are in terms of motor function. Okay, that's all for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and that's it.